That was a tough day. We're relaxing here on trampoline after a dive and catching conches and stuff like that. We still got really hot weather, and one of our guests didn't close the hatch, and we got the wave which smashed through the hatch and ended up on the mattress. We had to wash it with the fresh water, which is lots of jumping up and down. Well, I got the rope in a propeller and I bent the shaft. I have to take the shaft off, straighten it up and reinstall it. That's gonna be hell of work, especially that I'm not planning to take the boat out of the water, so I will have to do it in the water, which got its own challenges. It's gonna be probably $1,000 or $1,200 to get it out of the water, and then of course do all the job associated with taking it out and repairing it. I've done it before, so I'm gonna take the shaft out of the water right on the anchor without taking the boat, lifting the boat out. I have to go down to the dungeon, as I call it. Very nice place for a guy like me, and secure the shaft from rotating when I be removing the prop. It's a confined space. Working there, it's not easy. Lots of sweat and swears flying around. Well, you have to do what you have to do. Okay. Hopefully this part is done and I block the shaft properly. I'll have to take a big wrench, chisel, little hammer, and then big wrench and work on it, and that's how your hands may look after. Well, time to go in the water. Sometimes you fell in the water like a rag. Well, I'm still in the water. Do I care how I go in the water? No, I don't. I got a job to do, and that's the most important part. So yeah, first thing is I have to get the washer, which is folded on a knot. I have to unfold it using chisel and a little hammer, and then the knot will be able to turn on the thread on the shaft. It's a specially designed washer which partially folds, as I said, on a knot, but the other part is in the middle. It goes in a bruise in a shaft, therefore it's locking it up. Kind of nice design for small props, preventing it from unscrewing it by himself. A little bit of work to do. After taking the washer off, it's time for heavy artillery and a really big wrench. That will help me to take the propeller nut off. I started probably with the wrong direction. I just turned it clockwise, and then the blockade in the engine room got off, and I had to go out, blockade it again, and then I was able to unscrew it. Took a little bit of time, but it was all done. Now I encounter another problem. By pulling shaft out, it's a little bit too long, and it's leaning on a skeg. So I had to remove the cutlass bearing as well. And if I would thought properly, I would do it earlier, but well, I'm not doing it every day. So removing cutlass bearing helped me to get the shaft off completely. And this is how badly it was bent. It was vibrating the whole boat, and I had to take it to the shop in hope that it will be repaired.
I don't know how straight I'm gonna get it.
I know, this is tricky, but you know, as bad as this is, anything better will be better.
Stuff like this. So
Yeah?
you can't get like this to bite?
Sorry?
You can't get them to bite?
I can get them from UK for $650, from England.
England.
Yeah. I may consider myself a lucky guy. He had a shaft exactly like mine. So I bought this shaft from him, plus he straightened up the one I bent. And I had two shafts. Total deal was about $500. I'm very happy. And I got a spare shaft. That's gone. This is mine. He thought quite a bit to make it straight. It's almost straight, but it's not. It's still bent a little bit in this place. So I will just leave it as a spare one. This one I will install. This is the prop. I have to clean it. This is the spare prop. Since I'll be cleaning this one, I cleaned this one. And a cutlass bearing, I have to replace it as well. This one is maybe not tragic, but since I'm getting new shaft and everything, I will replace it, because later on, if I have to replace it, it's lots of work. This is what's left over of the cutlass bearing after I had to knock it all off. Brass base. This one is plastic, so this one will go way better. This is the new one. With a nice finish of the rubber. I polished the prop a little bit. New key for the shaft. Had to shorten it up a little bit on one side, and that will go here. I'm jumping in the water with a little bit more grace than the previous time, but well, people learn. I'm the one who's learning too. Installing the shaft was not a big deal anymore. I put it in, I secure it inside. Right now I'm just putting zincs to prevent inner elements from corrosion, and then I'm putting the shaft, the nut, and securing it properly. That's how it's supposed to look after it's installed. So you see the washer is bent over the nut, and of course the zincs, which will prevent corrosion. I put it on the shaft because I didn't have the original one, which is supposed to go on a nut. And this is the starboard side prop, uncleaned. Ooh. This is the shaft we changed, shaft seal. I greased it up quite nicely with a really good grease, so it will kind of lubricate all the seals here. This is the coupling. Yeah, I took it off, and when I had to take it off, I repainted, and it looks nice. Okay, this is my blockade. If you have to do something on a prop, all you have to do, you have to like block the shaft, right? So whichever direction you're putting in, like, you know, if you, I don't have second hand, but you simply put a key like this and it's blocked. If you have to put it clockwise, if you have to turn it counterclockwise, you put it on the other end. This is a kind of trick. Otherwise you need a second person to block it, but there is not really nothing that you can grab it and hold it without turning if you're working on your prop. And if you turn it counterclockwise right now, let's say I was tying the nut on a propeller, so that's how I block it. The moment I put it all the way, oh, it falls off. So engine is 4JH 4JH3E. Oil stick, you have to check the oil sometimes. Also coolant, I know it's full because I checked it yesterday. You check once maybe every season or once a month, you check the oil here. And in transmission, and the oil has to be to that level, like that much oil. It is there, I checked it yesterday. Normal engine oil 10W30. Fuel filter over there. This is wet exhaust. It's simply cooling water gets into exhaust pipe, gets in here, gets mixed up, cools down a little bit. It's blown off by the gases. We've got a water maker here. I haven't used it for a while, but this is to produce water on the boat. And this is primary filters coming in, 30 microns I believe, and the filters are not there because I haven't used it. I just put the fresh water in and took the filters out. And this is the whole dashboard telling you how many gallons per minute you can make, and you can regulate it here. I haven't used it for like 2 years. There was no need, but eventually, probably this time I'll start using it. Very important thing, all the metal parts, they're rusting like hell. I mean, you go home, nothing, no rain, nothing, you coming in, this is all rusted. So I find out that's the best way actually to prevent it. Put some kind of grease, like clean it up and put some grease. I just apply some, I forgot what's the name of it, but it's in a spray. It's a really greasy stuff, really oily and sticky. So I spray all the parts which was prone to corrosion, and this way I'm preserving it. This is a couple years old. There's some periods of time when I use it quite intensively. It works a couple hours every day if I have some divers, and that's how it is. Oil tank is cooled also by the way the engine runs. It propels the compressor, but it's also cooled by the same water which cools the engine. So this way it's not getting overheated. It still gets to about 50 degrees or 60 degrees centigrade at the most. There's quite a bit of power, you know, to propel compressor like this. So it naturally, because the pressure goes up, it heats up, and this is about 40, maybe 50 liter tank. Is like filled with 75% of oil. That's it. And then of course fire extinguisher, you see it's good, and that's all you need here. And it's a bloody, for a guy like me, it's a tough way to get in, work and get out. But believe me or not, I installed this compressor myself and everything here. I built it right from scratch. I replaced that engine twice. This is third engine on this boat. Look messy, but in that small compartment, especially that you cannot design things you want. You just gather all the elements and you try to work around them. This is little cactus, and it's been a wet season. It's losing the fruits. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Oh shit. Somebody told me it's eatable. I'm gonna try. I've seen geckos eating the juice from the flowers. Never seen the fruits. Oh, okay, got it. Oh, let's see. Interesting. It's not sweet. It's more like dragon fruit taste. Got a little bit of seeds there. This is the first fruit ever, cactus fruit, I eat. I guess that's eradication of goats helped out a little bit. Beautiful, really stunning, nice cactuses. I find more of them. It's more like a forest here. They're growing everywhere, but it looks like they're concentrating in some areas. This is different species. I don't know how you call it, but it's whitish. And this is another one. I've never seen this one before. You have to be careful because the cactuses are everywhere. Whoa, this is like kind of white. Whoa, amazing. Hey, look at this. Beautiful. Oh, now I see a little bit of fruit. There's one ready to harvest. Ow! This is pretty cool. There's another one growing there. Got a little bit of shade on the top here, but it's getting steeper and steeper, and nobody walks here, so there's lots of loose material under my feet, and I don't want to roll down there. Just turn into fertilizer for those cactuses. I'm sitting here on the top hill 4, celebrating my birthday. I actually climbed here in hope that I'd be able to get a better internet connection, which didn't happen because I have to pause that movie today. So I will have to go over there. That's San Martin, and that's where there is a better internet than here. But nobody lives here, nobody gives a shit about here, and therefore there is no internet. I climb up and I hope that some beams or rays from San Martin will come here, but it didn't happen. There is sandbars behind me, but it's really restricted to go there, so I'm in the middle of the way. This is my boat, and I'm the rock traveler, believe it or not. And this is the end of the episode. Okay, I got too many beers, okay? And the elevation is thrilling my brain. Guys, enjoy it. All the best.